the suffer where you suffer for me. Sweet mother, I never forget you. For the suffer where you suffer. Hey, what's up, everybody? And welcome to lesson number 6. Now, I know the last time I promised we were going to take a little video clip. We were going to play it, listen to some of the words, pick up some phrases, and pick up some words and see if we could make out what the conversation was about. Well, as it turns out, I'm not as technologically inclined as I originally thought I was. But something really cool happened. My cousin, who lives in the United Kingdom, she has 2 kids who were born in the UK, and unfortunately, they don't speak Shona, which is not uncommon. But she decided she wanted them to learn some Shona, so she went online and she was trying to find videos to teach them some Shona. And guess who she ran into? So she sent me a message and she was like, "Yes, please upload some more videos. My kids are really, really enjoying it." So having said that, I started thinking, and I came up with lesson number 6, which I think is really helpful. It's how to address people. Now, having said that, we have people like my friend Kate and my friend Stefan, and they probably going to Zimbabwe sometime soon if they're not already in Zimbabwe. Now, chances are they don't have any Zimbabwean or Shona uncles and cousins, but they still need to talk to people, talk to strangers. So before we get into the more advanced lesson on how to address which cousin how, and how to address which uncle and which aunt in what way, let's start first with how you address strangers. Now, the reason why I say this is important is Shona people, like me, we love relationships. We love being related. If you are the slightest ounce of related in any way, we emphasize on that, and we are already family. So having said that, that's why I feel this is important. So there's several ways you can address strangers and make them feel like family. Now, of course, I understand they're not going to be family, but the way you address them makes them feel very welcome, comfortable, and very family-like. Now, we'll start with scenario number 1. You are a man, okay? And you want to address strangers who are also men, okay? So if you're a man and you want to address strangers who are also men, you can, if it's somebody older, you call them seguru. Seguru is 2 relations. Remember I told you, Shona, there's always 2 meanings to one word. Seguru can mean uncle. And uncle, which is usually your mom's brother. And it also means grandfather. It doesn't matter, grandfather on your mom's side, grandfather on your dad's side. So as a way of respect, somebody older, your dad's age or older, you just call them seguro. Excuse me, seguro. Now, do you remember the word for excuse me from the last lesson? Pamsoroi. Yes, that's an amazing word. Learn that word because you'll use it a lot. Pamsoroi seguro. Excuse me, uncle, excuse me, grandfather. Even if they're not, and of course they're not going to be your grandfather, uncle. You're meeting them for the first time. You want to ask them a question. Pamsoroi seguro. Magasimba ere seguro. Seguro. Or you can just say seguro, seguro. And if you want to address, remember, you're still a man here, and you want to address, somebody else is a man. If it's somebody your age or a little bit younger, there's several ways you can do it. The most common one is people say mukoma. Mukoma actually means big brother, but it also just means brother when you take it loosely. That you can talk to somebody a little bit younger than you and say mukoma. The correct way is muningina, which means young brother. But you don't know how old this person is, and you're trying to be respectful. So even if they are younger than you, you can still say mukoma. I have a question. Pamsore mukoma. Pamsore mukoma, which means brother. Because you notice most people at church call themselves mukoma so and so, which is brother so and so. So even someone's younger, okay, we're gonna hear testimony from mukoma so and so, and then somebody really, really young comes. That's absolutely fine. That's just a respectful way of saying brother. Another very common one is tsano. Tano. Tano means brother-in-law. Okay, Tano means brother-in-law, and so many people call each other Tano, or they call strangers Tano. It's really, really cool. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm trying to get married to your sister, but it just basically means, hey, we're kind of that age, we're at about the same age, and I guess the relationship I'm putting in is, like I married your sister or you married my sister. Kind of, I don't know if I'm explaining that right. So it's just Tano. That's absolutely acceptable. That's absolutely fine. And if you call somebody Tano or Mkoma who's your age, I'm yet to see somebody getting mad because you said that. If they do get mad, they have other issues going on, honestly. So feel free to say someone, hey Tano, they'll love that. Or Mkoma, if they're older, Aseguru. You can even say, if you want to, Bamkuru, which means your dad's older brother, which is fine. Like I said, as long as you're addressing the person in a respectable way, and you're creating family, that's absolutely acceptable. Now, I did say the word respectable. So if it's somebody your dad's age or older, and you call him Muningina, that's a problem because you're calling him young brother. So that's why Mkoma is safe, Sekuru is safe. So that's how you address strangers. So you're still a man. Now you want to address the ladies who are strangers to you. There's several ways people do it. Most people say tete, which is the female version of Seguru. So your dad's sister is tete or aunt. Okay, say pamsode tete. That's absolutely fine. If you say that to somebody, they're gonna be like, oh, okay. They're just gonna look. Like I said again, clearly and obviously you're not related, but you're calling them by relation name. Yeah, another very, very common one is ambuya, which means mother-in-law. Ambuya. And that, I would say, is the most common one, because even when people are talking about somebody and they don't want to say something rude like that lady, like umkazuyo, which is kind of rude, I mean, it's not really rude, but it's not polite. They say ambuya awo, like that mother-in-law over there. Now I know in the Western world, mother-in-laws are not the most favorite people. That's not the case in Africa. So if you say ambuya to an older lady, that's absolutely fine. You can also say ambuya, which means grandmother, but I hate to sound chauvinistic. You want to be careful with that. Women are kind of sensitive about their age. So if you call ambuya, you're calling her old. Ambuya is a safe bet. So ambuya or tete. If it's a girl about your age, you can call it sisi. Sisi basically means sister. Okay, sisi. It's more colloquial for sister. I don't think it's a real word, but you can say sisi. Hey, I'm sorry, sisi. Now, maybe you shouldn't, because I just started thinking, well, when I was growing up, I don't know if it's still the same. If you wanted to ask a girl out, you'd call her sisi. Pamsore Sisi. So yeah, I don't know, but let's stay away from that one. But you can say Anjadzi, which means sister. Now you can say Hanjadzi, as you can see that spelling has an H in it, or you can say Anjadzi. If you want to, you can say Vahanjadzi, which is absolutely fine. Or you can just say Anjadzi, which means sister. So remember, somebody older than you're a dude or a guy, and the lady's older than you, she's either ambuya, be careful with that one, or you can call it tete, or vatete, that's also very respectful, or you can call anjadzi, or vaanjadzi. Okay, all of those are absolutely fine. All right. And oh, we forgot the ladies. So if you're a girl and you want to address ladies, you can just say amai, which means amai, which means mother, excuse me. Yeah, I forgot, you guys are Shona experts. Yeah, you can say amai, which just means mother. So amai, that's absolutely fine. Mother-in-law is amwene. You can say I'm sorry, amwene. That's rarely used, but it's still okay. Hey, amai or amwene, those, those are absolutely fine as well. Um, I've seen girls call each other mkoma. Hey, mkoma. I don't know if it's the proper way to do it, but it's acceptable. So, you can say to a girl, you're a girl, and you can say to another girl, hey, mkoma, or akoma, or vakoma. That's all the same thing. It's just several variations of the same exact word. Excuse me for that. So that's absolutely acceptable. And then let's go to the other side. You're still a lady, you want to address the men. Okay, you can say baba, which means father. You can say atezara, which means father-in-law. That's rare. I've really seen girls just address, like strangers as atezara. So it's usually baba. Baba is the most common one. And then there's andrads. Andrads means, uh, a sibling of the opposite sex. So if it's a guy and a girl, they call each other andrads. If it's a boy, they call each other mkoma. But we'll get into that. I promise. We'll get into that advanced lesson just now. So your girl, you want to dress a guy your age, andrads. I'm sorry, andrads. That's the most common one. That I would say use that one because that one is used all the time. You're saying, "Excuse me, my brother," and you've already established a brotherly sisterly relationship. I would say if I was to put them in ranking, that would be my first choice. Um, Another very common one girls use is sekuru. Sekuru means uncle, it means grandfather as well. Hey, pamsore sekuru. That's fine. I mean, at my age, if somebody a little bit younger than me was to call me sekuru, that would be okay. Probably just means I'm your uncle, or you respecting me as your uncle. So those are the greetings you'd greet strangers with. The reason why I recommend these is those are the most common. If you want to, you can just say Pamsoroi or whatever. But remember, the reason why I told you to do it in this way is because Shona people, we love relationships. We love being related. So if you address somebody in that way, it's done on the streets up until today, and it's something really, really awesome to do, and it's something very, very acceptable. So, I can imagine Kate, you go out there and you see somebody, you say, Pamsore Seguro. They'll love that. Try it. If you get different results, just send me a message on the bottom, but I bet you $1,000 I'm right. Okay. I really thank you for watching the lesson. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you like the tie. But thanks. I look forward to seeing your next lesson. Tona Natano. Have a good one. And Maskati, Mosara Zwaganaka.